Hmm. See the yelly man right here? Open mouth. His one eye's got a big long tear streak falling, river of tears right there. See the eye? See that line? That gash, that crack? That crack is him crying. There's a dot for his nose, there's his two eyes, there's his open mouth. He's got a river of tears. And if you hold it this way, that line becomes a mouth for a face right there. If you hold it this way, let's see, there's another face. I can line it up right here. There's another crying face with his eye right there crying down this way and his other eye right there. His nose is right here and his mouth's right down here. What's up, Mr. UFO? How you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? Hard to focus. It's almost dark here, so we got some clouds, so it's hard to see. It's hard to get this to focus with the light. I'm pretty good, buddy. Check out this little snakehead. See his open mouth right here? If I hold it back here, see how it looks like a little snake. Here's a cool snakehead. Check this guy out. See his eye and his open mouth? His other eye's right up there. Turns this way, his little face down in there. Yeah, it's still pretty hot where I am. It's kind of hot out here. It's real humid. Like, I don't know if you can see the sky. Overcast. Very, very cloudy. Check this dude out. You flip him over. Here's another face wearing. Just imagine them wearing helmets or hats. They're always wearing a headdress. So this part, his lip right here is his hat. There's his nose, 2 eyes. His mouth is right there, that crack. And then there's a big face with the eye, nose, mouth this way. So you got one there. You got a big one there. You flip it over, it's a big one there. Canada. Oh, that's awesome. 93 is old, man. That's good. You know, if you lived a life that's 93 years old, you've lived a long life. That's a long time. Not many people get to be 90. That's for sure. That's awesome. Check this snakehead out. I think this is more of a turtle. It feels more turtle head. Feels more turtley than a snake. It's got a yelling man face in it. You see the nose right there and the eye right there, other eye's back here, and this is his mouth. Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. It helps out a lot, man. I get a lot of hate on here for my rocks. Don't get much love. Get a lot of hate. A lot of people don't like them. I don't know why. They're just rocks. Rocks don't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? Check this big nutting stone out. See that hole right there? See how far down it goes? Big old nutting stone. You want to see a cool bird? Check this bird out. You can see his beak right there and his eye. He's real skinny. He's almost like a blade right here. It comes up to a point, and there's his beak, the top of his head. Got a couple faces in him too, but he's mostly a bird. super thin right there. See how it's like a blade right along the edge? It comes up to a point. So right there's his eye, and there's his beak right there sticking out. See how his beak sticks up? That's a pretty cool bird right there. Let's see. Here's a guy who looks like a mummy. You want to see a mummy? Let me get him turned around right. Here he is. This right here is his eye. This is his nose. This is his mouth. This is his chin. This is his ear. Looks like he's wrapped up in bandages. Here's a cool one. Well, watch this crazy guy. He's got a bunch of holes in him. You're gonna see a face right here, with that hole being his nose. That's his mouth, and there's his two eyes up there. You turn him over, he's got a face right there, and he's got another face right there. Got a face on the end right here. This one's kind of hard to see, but right there's his nose. This is his mouth. There's one eye, and the other eye's tucked in there. Other eye's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. Imagine there's a guy right here wearing a hoodie. His eyes up there. There's his nose and his mouth. He's wearing a headdress, so he's got like a hoodie on. See him? Right there. A couple holes in the middle of it too. One, two. I think that third one's right there. I think that's a hole too. The face right here with his nose, his mouth, his eye. This kind of looks like an elephant, with the hole being his eye and his trunk coming down right here. Could be an elephant this way too, with his trunk curling around right there, and that hole being his eye. It's not a very good one though. The face right here. Face right here. There's his nose, his mouth, and his eye. His other eye's tucked in right there. See his mouth, nose, eye. All right, put this one down. I'm gonna go walk over to the other areas. I done played this area out. Let's go walk around some. Let's go see what's over here. You want to see some fossils? Check these fossils out. Watch what happens when you get them wet. They look a lot better. So watch how they look different when they're wet. This is dry. See how it comes out way better when they're wet. They look way better. You see them way better. These are really cool. These look really cool when they get polished. Like people put them in rock tumblers and tumble them and get them all polishy. They come out looking really cool. I don't have a rock tumbler though. They look way better when they're wet. See, here's one dry. That's what it looks like dry, and then watch. When you get it wet, it looks way better. Here's another one. Here's a cool one. So there's an eye. The purple thing's a fossil. And then there's his open mouth. Imagine he's got a big old head, but he's missing his other eye. We'll pretend that spot's his other eye where I just put my thumb. But you see this part right here? Watch how purple that gets when I get it wet. It makes it real dark purple. You see those little shells in there, that little fossil? There's one there and there's one there. And if you look inside his mouth, there's another man's face right there. Down inside the hole. Down inside the mouth of this big face, there's an eye, nose, and a big mouth. Open mouth. And then there's a man's face hidden inside his mouth. This face right here is wearing this rock as his headdress. The big face eating the man's face. So this big face eating that man's face, or you can look at it as that man's face down there wearing the big face as his headdress. Here's a really cool fossil. Check this one out. Wait till I get this one wet. I don't know if you can see it. It's got really cool texture in there. See the little honeycomb in it? Now watch what happens when this one gets wet. It looks real cool. See how it looks way better when they're wet? See how they come out? The colors pop too. This one's really cool because there's no rock on it. It's just all fossil. A lot of times they have, rock mixed in it. This one's just all fossil. There's hardly any matrix of any kind on it. his face right here. Cracks his mouth. There's his nose. There's his eye. Another one right here. There's his nose, his mouth, his eye, his other eye's up there. He's wearing the rest of his rock as headdress. This one's got a few faces in it. Go look over here. I found these ceramic frogs in the creek. Look at these. One frog, two frogs. What's cool about these, they got a secret. Watch this. Boobies and a pussy. See the boobies? And it's got a little butthole right there. See the little hole for his butt? So that's the girl frog, right? Here's the boy frog. Look at this one. A little pink pecker on him. See it? Got some damage right there. They're chipped. That white part's a chip. I found these in the creek. They were just sitting in the water. I was like, damn, there's a frog. I picked it up, and it was a ceramic frog. And I looked on the bottom, and it had that. They're damaged right there and right there. I don't know how they got in the creek. Someone might have put them in there as a joke. I don't know. I thought that was kind of crazy. Now here's a wild rock right here. Okay, see that hole right there? Watch what this hole does. It does all kinds of stuff. Face right there. Hard to focus. I think I'm losing all my light. So let me show you what it does here. So it becomes a man's face wearing a helmet of a bird right there, like a hummingbird. You see the hummingbird beak? Imagine there's a hummingbird right there. And if you look at it this way, there's a head like an eye. Well, there's a little face right there on the tip. It reminds me of like a beaver or something with his big old buck teeth. And then right here is open mouth, nose, eye, like a turtle head. See that? See the face? Open mouth, nose, his eye. His face right there. There's gonna be a bunch of faces in this thing. I'm losing my light. It's hard to get it to focus. See that face right here in the bottom? A couple of faces right there. Face right here. I like this one a lot. Here's an elephant trunk. See that there? See his eye? Big old elephant trunk. There's a big bird. Face right there at the bottom. There's the bird in his beak. There's his eye this way. And there's a face down here. Right there's a face. Kind of hard to see the faces, but that's an eye. There's an eye, there's a nose, and there's a mouth right there. We'll flip it upside down. There's going to be a couple faces in it this way. There's one. Here's another bird. So there's his wing. That'd be his tail. There's his beak. Got a picture he's flying in the air almost. I don't know if you can see that notch right there they chopped out. And that little bump right there is his wing. This is a possible axe. So this long part right here would have been the axe, and then that notch and that notch right there would have held it in, so it would have been sticking out of the stick like this. And this back part would have been shoved into a hole in the stick to make a big old axe or a hatchet or a war club, but it looks like a bird. You see that hump right there? You see that notch right there? They made that notch so it would stick into the back of the stick. They would put the stick right here and they would lash the rope around it, twine leather straps to make it hold on to the stick like this, so it'd be like a club, like a war club, club head. Ooh. Check this face out. Pretend that's a big ass nose. There's his eye. There's his big ass nose. There's his mouth. There's his other eye up there. The face this way. Oh wait, let me show you the face this way. So this crack right here is his mouth. There's his nose. Those two are his eyes. But you got to hold it kind of down at an angle like this. There's another face right there. Just depends on how you twist them. It all depends on how you hold them, what direction you're looking at them. Big old nose on that guy. Look at the honker on that dude. Big old super nose. There's a cool bird. Cool bird head. This one reminds me of a snake. Let's see what else we got. There's a fishing net sinker. See how the hole's at the top? So they would have tied this to the net up here, and they would have held it in the water. They would have tied these to the bottom of the fishing net, so it would hold the fishing net down in the water. I got a bunch of them. Anything with a hole in it, they probably would have used it as a fishing net or some kind of tool. There's a good hole right there. I always pick anything up with a hole. I always pick them up. Here's a cool fossil. Check this guy out. This one's super cool. I don't know if you can see all those little white spots on there is part of the fossil. You see all that? See all that white stuff? That don't come off. That's in the rock. Let me get this one wet so you can see it. Okay, you ready? Here goes. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I don't know if you can see it. It's almost dark, so the lighting's not the best, but that's a pretty big one too. I didn't show you that fossil. See what else we gotta look at. Here's a cool bird. There's a face right here in the bottom. There's his beak. Another face right there. I don't know if you can see that face right there. See the nose, the mouth, the eyes. There's a face right there in the bird beak, right in here. God, look at that little face right there. See that open mouth? Right there above my thumb. You see his nose and his eye and his little open mouth like he's yelling at you? That's the thing about these. If you don't look real close, you're going to miss all kinds of stuff like that. They put them in there real small. Here's a cool face. Now there's his eye, that's his nose, there's his mouth, his other eye's up there, like he's wearing a hat. See it? What's up, Marcel? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Here's another elephant. So there's his trunk. Right there's his trunk. Down at the bottom. See how he's got a little hole in the bottom to drink water? There's his eye right here. His eye, that hole goes over his trunk. And there's his back leg and his tail or whatever. But he sits flat like this. Can't balance it in my hand, but he sits like this, flat. And you look up like this, and there's the trunk. Trunk of the elephant trunk. We'll turn it this way. There's a face right there. There's a really good face in this one too. Watch. Hold on. Let me figure out where the face is. There's a real good one in this one. Here he is. Right here in the side. So there's his mouth. There's his nose. That dots his eye. This one has a couple faces in it. I think there's one right there too. Those two holes, nose and mouth. But that's the one I like right there. That one right there. Oh wait, there's one right there. The hole is his eye. See that? Eye, nose, mouth. Hope you can see that. Some of these are hard to see. They're abstract. They're not always perfect. They're not trying to make perfect faces. They're just trying to make as many different hidden faces as they can. You see the face right there with the two holes as his eye? And that one has a little eyeball in the back. See that little white dot inside there? See if I get the lighting right. Turn it over this way. There's another face. I think there's another face this way, I think. Yeah, right here. Yelling man face. So that open mouth hole, that hole becomes the open mouth for a yelling man. You see the two spots for his eye and his nose? And his mouth's right there like he's yelling. That's a yelling man right there. Yelling man face. And that face right there is wearing a headdress right here. This rock right here, see how it's kind of hiding his face a little bit, like you only see half his face? That's his headdress. That's his mask. There's his nose and his mouth. Here's a weird looking one. Check out these little bird heads up here. See the face right there on the side? Right there. I'll turn this over. There's a little bird. There's a bird. There's a face right there now. And there's a big old open mouth something. I don't know what that thing is. I want you to picture an elephant walking right here. That's his back leg, there's his front leg, and there's his eye and his trunk. See it? Front leg, back leg, eye, trunk. They're abstract, they're not always perfect. Sometimes they're just suggestions of what they're supposed to be. Look at the face right there. There's eye right here, nose, crack is his mouth, his other eye's back there in the back. See how they're three-dimensional? Like that eye is not even anywhere near the rest of his face. But when you hold it like this, that eye makes him a face right there. You got to hold it at the right angle to see it. If everything's not lined up, you don't see anything. Some of you guys are probably watching this thinking, this guy's crazy, there's nothing in there. You just have to be able to hold it at the right angle. See the face on the side right here? Eye, nose, mouth. Looks like a lion. Right there. Look at that guy right there. Yeah, this one's a crazy one. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff in him. Any way you turn it, you're going to see faces in it. It doesn't matter what direction you hold it, what angle you look at it, there's going to be something in there. They sat there and carved these for days, hours, months, years. They probably carried this around. This could have been lost, refound, lost again, refound 1,000 years later, and they would have picked it up, seen the faces in it, and took it back to their camp and said, look what I found. Here's a cool one. Another hole, another face. See that face right there? Let's see what's on this side. Little face. Sometimes there's a face inside the hole. Now there's the best face right there. See if it changes if I turn it this way. Could be a face this way too. This crack being his mouth. Could be a yelling man right this way, with a nose, with two eyes, and his mouth's open, like he's yelling. All depends on the angle and the distance. It makes just a huge advantage. Every time you twist it, you're going to see something different. All right, get ready for something cool on this guy. Let me show you here. I want you to think about a dog. There's his mouth, there's his nose, there's his eye. That's his ear, or a wolf. See the eye, see the nose, see the mouth. That's the ear. It could be an antler for a deer. See that there? See his eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin. And there's his ear, or his antler. Just think about a dog or a wolf. Maybe a bear. This side might be a bear. See his eye on this side, nose, mouth. This one's got a bunch of stuff in it. Little face right there. So, let's see what else is in this one. I think there's a face right down there. I forget, a lot of these I forget what they are. It takes me a minute to twist it. Oh, there he is right there. There's a face. Yeah, it's hard to remember what everything is when I look at them. I got so many rocks here, it's hard to keep them all straight. This is just a small part of my collection. There's another face, I have a dog looking face right there, a wolf with his eye, his nose, his mouth. Back there would be his ear. And there's a face right there. There's a small face right there, or a bigger face when you use that eye, nose, mouth, chin. Small face. There's a bigger face. A face right there. Now watch this face right here. See his nose and his mouth and his eye? I don't know if you can see that. That one's hard to see. And there's one right down here. And there's that, kind of looks like a pig maybe, with his snout kind of upturned. Yeah, let's go look at other stuff over this way. Got a big pile over here. Let's see what we got right here. See all the rust on this one? They got like little iron inclusions in them. Okay, this one I want you to think about. This back part, this part's all hair. And there's the face. You gotta look at it from the side. There's the face, and then it's got hair. See the hair coming down? I'll hold it back here. So you got to peek around his hair right there, or her hair. See that? There's the face. There's the hair. This back here is hair. It's got other stuff going on with this one too, but face right there. I definitely like this one because of this. Face right there. And the hair. That's a pretty cool one. Check this rock out. Look at this groove they cut into this one. See how it fits in your hand perfect? And it's got this groove right there. And they would have been using that for a tool of some sort. See how it's all scooped out down in there? This whole thing's scooped. See how there's like a ditch in there? See how it fits in my hand perfect? You could hold it like that and use it for whatever they were using it for. Definitely were using that for something. How they used it, I don't know. I'm not an expert on what they did with the tools. I mostly just grab stuff that has faces in it. I like the faces. I like stuff with holes in it too. I'll grab anything with a hole in it. Here's something funny. Watch this guy. So I want you to imagine this guy right here is a big turtle head. That's one eye. That's his other eye. His nose is in the middle. And there's his mouth, but he's eating a big chunk of lettuce. He's chewing on something. I don't know if you can see, but this looks like a mouth from the side. There's his eye. There's his other eye. His nose is kind of like right there. And he's got a mouthful of something. That rock right there. But there's other faces in that, and this rock right here. If I get it lined up right, I can find them. Let's see. I believe there's one right there. Hold it like this. See his nose, his eye, his mouth, his chin. He's looking at you from the side. This one's got a little face in the side of it too. See that little guy right here? All right. See what else we got. Well, that's a weird looking rock. Check that thing out. Look at the face right there. It's sitting on this weird pedestal looking rock. Look at this. Another face upside down right there. I hope you guys can see these. See the eyes and the nose that lines his mouth? There's his other eye. They're not easy to spot. They make them hard on purpose. See the eye, nose, mouth. See the yelling man right here? That holds his mouth. There's his eye, and that spots his nose. See that face right in the middle? I call these ghost faces because they're not on the edge and they're looking straight out like they're flat. See the nose, the eye, the mouth. Yeah, these things go pretty deep. Like you can sit there and look at some of these for hours and you still never find everything in it. Like this guy right here. See how you could go real small, or you could pull back and get a bigger face. I think it's getting dark. My focus isn't working anymore. Looks like it's dark. It's almost dark. That's light that way. See that little guy peeking out of that hole right there? See the bridge of his nose right there? And his eye? God, I wish the focus would work. And here's a cool one right here on the edge. Eye, nose, mouth. His other eye's right there. Oh, I can't focus. I think I'm losing light. I might have to shut this down because I can't see. The focus isn't working. I might be able to move over here. Maybe it's better if I move this way. Check this one out. See that hole right there? See that bird beak right there? There's another one with a hole. Here's a cool one with a hole. Check the face out on this dude. So there's the hole. There's one face right there, yelling man. There's another yelling man this way. Yeah, it's hard to focus right now. It's almost dark, so I can't really get it to focus very well, especially on some of these small ones. I can't get these little ones to focus at all. This is a really cool colored one right here. There's a motorcycle. Check this bird out. There's his eye. There's his beak. Like a big old duck. This one's really cool. Now, you ready for some craziness with this guy? Now watch this dude right here. He's a yelling man. There's his mouth. There's one eye. There's the other eye. His nose is that big thing in the middle. What you doing, buddy? Chilling? Check out this head knocker. Big old club. Here's a little tomahawk. Yeah, it comes down to a point. The back's got a spike on it. Here, I got a better spiked one. So, let me find it. There's one with a spike on it, kind of. See, these canoe-shaped ones are probably hatchets. The ones that look like canoes. See how they're fat in the middle? And they come down to points on the ends. There's a canoe. There's another canoe, half of a canoe. See how the point right there? And then there's the front of the canoe. That's fat in the middle. Like a little hatchet or a club head. That comes down to a point. Fat in the middle, comes down to a very skinny end. Oh, here's my serious head knocker. Check this guy out. See how there's a notch right there? there. So there's the end that comes out. That's the end that cracks your skull. And this is the other end. So I would have put it on a stick right where my thumb is, right like this. That part would have been sticking out of the back of the stick. And this part would have been the front. So it would have been a hatchet, like a pickaxe, with a big old spike on the end. And there's the notch where it would have sat into the tree. See how they notched that out right there? That notch right there. Almost a 90 degree, a little bit less than 90. So the stick would have came up. It would have put it through the hole. See how there's that part right there stops it from going through the back of the stick. So they would have made a hole in the stick. The stick would have came up right there. And this part would have been sticking out one end, and that part would have been sticking out the back. So it's like a head cracker and a hatchet at the same time. It's a war club. Sometimes they're just ceremonial. They wouldn't have probably never used them, but check this little head out. Think of a crow or a bird. Where can you get these stones cut into jewelry material? I've thought about wire wrapping some of my smaller ones, because I've got a lot of small pocket stones, like really small, cool ones, like something like this size with the faces in it. See how it's not real big? It's about a little bit bigger than a quarter. See the face in there, right there? I thought about wire wrapping some of these. I've got some small ones that would really work good with wire wrapping. Here's a smaller one. No, it's not small enough. I got some real small ones up here. These are most of my small ones, like these guys. Here's one of the rarest finds I've found yet. This right here. So this ball right here looks like a walnut. See how it's round? Perfectly round. This is a water drum tuner from the Hopewell or Adena culture. And they would have put this in the side of the drum and stretched the skin over it. There would have been 5 of them on the drum. They would have went around the outside and the skin would have came over the top, and they would have laced the laces between them. And it helps tighten up the drum on a water drum. This really is one of the rarest. That's one of the rarest pieces I've got right there. That ball. Very, 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 very rare. Way rarer than arrowhead. Ask every arrowhead hunter you know if they got one of these, and I bet you $1 they don't. Arrowheads are cool. I find them every once in a while, but that's not what I look for. Here's my mammoth. See his eye and his trunk, his front leg, back leg, his tail. He's got a hole in the bottom right there for him to drink water out of his trunk. So what's cool about this mammoth, you turn him over this way, there's a baby mammoth right there. That eye is his hole. You see his trunk is curled. It's going into his mouth like he's feeding himself. You see how the trunk, the curl, see that little curl right there, that little part sticking down and over? Like it comes around and curls under. So that's the baby. And this side right there is the mom. And you flip it over and there's the dad. The big one is the dad. There's his front leg. There's his back leg and his tail. There's his back, his hump. There's his head with the hump. There's his eye. There's his trunk coming down. And then there's some human faces in this one too. You might see some human faces down in there, like right there. There's a big human face with a big old nose. See his eye? That big hole's his eye. There's his mouth and chin and that big old nose. Super nose. And then there's a face right there. It's kind of sideways, but there's an eye, nose, and his mouth. There's a weird flat face right there. Open mouth. Everybody's going to see different stuff. Nobody sees the same things, and that's okay. Everybody sees different stuff. And some people won't see anything at all. Some people will see all kinds of stuff in them. Just depends on what your brain sees. I think I'm losing light because it's not focusing very good. Can't get the focus anymore. Yeah, I'm losing light. Focus is gone. See, here's one that's small enough to wire wrap. See, it's not real big. You can figure out where a good face is and then wire wrap around it. Ah, it won't show nothing. It's too dark. I can't get it to focus. Won't focus very well. So that hole is open enough for a big face here. There's his eye, his nose, his other eye's up there, and there's his mouth. You got to hold it just at the right angle and distance to see him. And down here, there's a couple faces. God, it won't focus at all. There's an eye, nose, mouth. Right there. There's a double eye. Guy right there sticking his tongue out. Hold him right. Here's a moon-eyed people. I don't know if you guys heard of the moon-eyed people. So see how big that eye is there? And that eye right there? And there's his nose and his mouth and chin. The rest of him is hair. So he's only from this part down. See if I can get him to come in. Focus on him any. Eye, nose, mouth, and chin. A little yelly man right there. Real small. See that gash is his open mouth, and his nose and his two eyes are right above him. Little hole for his eyes. I won't focus on him. Alright. Let's see if we can see this one. See this big gash out right here? So this is an open mouth for a yelling man. Black spot's his nose, black spot's his eye. That gash right there is his other eye. And then that hole is his mouth, like he's screaming at you. See his eye? See his nose? There's his mouth. His other eye's right there. This one's got a bunch of stuff in it too. There's a bunch of faces in this one. Bunch of hidden faces in this one. See how this one's got different colors? Like black, orange, tan. Imagine them wearing war paint or makeup. You know they used to hide themselves under war paint? That's what's going on with these. See how they're all calico looking? And they blend all together? So what they do is they'll chip away the black part to reveal the lightness underneath. It's too dark to see, I think. It won't focus very well. I don't know if you guys can see anything in there, but there's faces in these. It's definitely ghost faces. I don't know if you can see that one. Maybe you can see that one. But right there's his nose. This cracks his mouth. There's an eye, and there's an eye. Really hard to see him, though. That guy right there. So this crack is his mouth. There's his nose. That white spot, or that tan spot's one eye, and the other eye's up there in the black. It's hard to see him, especially when it's almost dark. There's a couple right in here too. Let me see if I can find something that's easier to see in the dark. Here's one with a hole in it. So what's cool about this guy, you can see him, he's got a big old nose on him. So there's a screaming, yelling man right here. He's painted black. That's his eyes right there, those two holes. That spot's his nose, and this is his open mouth. See that? Sometimes the holes are open mouths for yelling mans. They're not always eyes. You see a hole, don't always think it's an eye. It could be an ear, could be an open mouth. Just depends on how you twist it. So it's an eye for a face down at the bottom. There's the other eye, there's the nose, and that little cracks his mouth. You hold it down here. And then this guy is a yelling man right there. So he's got a little face right there, yelling man. Does some other stuff. So there's an eye for a face here, a nose and a mouth, and the other eye's that hole right there. Here's a cool part of this one too. Watch this. So picture there's a half of a face. See how there's a line right there? And this part's smooth. This part right by my thumb's his nose. That gash is his eye. His mouth's down here. The only part of your face you're seeing is half of him. He's peeking out from under a mask. You see that? I won't focus. I don't know if you can see that or not. But this is the only part of his face you see. Half his nose, his cheek, half his mouth, and a little part of his eye. The rest of him's underneath the headdress. I think it's almost too dark, guys. It gets too dark, you won't focus. Check this guy's face. Here's his eye, there's his nose, there's his mouth, there's his tip of his chin. He's got like a Jay Leno chin. Eye, nose, mouth, chin. There's the other eye on this side. Eye, mouth, nose, chin. And there's another face right here. He's got eye, nose, mouth right there. This one's got a bunch of faces in it. There's a face right there. There's one right here. See his eye, his nose, his mouth. A little face right there. Let's see. I think there's one this way too. I think it's right there. Oh, here. One right here wearing a headdress. I won't focus. Can't get the focus. I'm losing all my focus, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to show any more or not. What do you think, Stella? Getting too dark? Huh? Get too dark outside? See his mouth, nose, eye. Here's a big head knocker too. So here's the handle down here. Look at the size of this club. The face right there on the side. This one's got all kinds of ghost faces in it. It's going to be hard to see it because it's almost dark, but trust me when I tell you there's faces in this guy. God, I wish it wasn't so dark. I'd be able to show these better. It's too dark. Too dark. Hmm. There's another small one. I think I can wire wrap this size. It's not too big. It's got a cool couple of faces, like this face right here. Cool face on the end of him too, right there. Well, might be having to close this down here. A real little face right there. Get the focus. Look for the open mouth, nose, eye of the yelling man right there on the top. See that hole right there? There's eye, nose, mouth. See that hole right there? That's the other eye. You hold him straight on, you can see him. Hmm. I think I'm gonna shut this down. It's kind of dark. Can't see nothing. See all this hole right here? See the open mouth snakehead? Snake or a turtle? I'm thinking snake. Cool scraper blade. See how it's fat on this side, skinny right there. There's a cool celt. You can see how it's smoothed down to a point. It's fat on the back. See how fat it is on this end? How skinny it gets down there. Might be able to see this guy because he glows in the dark. It's fossils. See his eyes, his nose, his mouth. Watch this. These are fossils. See that face right there? I can't see shit. It's almost dark. Might be able to see this guy. Eye, nose, mouth. Too dark. Too dark on the streets. Too dark. Here's a cool bird. See his eye and his beak. His tail down here. You might be able to see this bird. It's not too dark to see him. See that beak? Look at the angle on that thing. Look at how smooth that thing is. See his head, beak. It's like a razor blade down there. It's a scraper. Big giant scraper. There's a face right there. Yeah, battle axe. Yeah. Here's another bird. Big old bird. So this one's got a cup stone in him. There's a cupped out area right there. There's the bird's head. That'd be his tail. And then on the back side, it's got a nutting stone right there. I don't know if you can see that hole right there. And then it's a bird this way too. So depending on what side you hold it at, the bird two ways. This one looks like a turkey head, kind of, the long neck. Let me show you how this one works. See how it fits between my legs? Fits right between your knees. Then now you got the scooped out spot held in place by your knees. And you can use this to grind stuff, pound stuff. It works this way too. And you can put the head up there. This could have been a club head too. See how it's got a handle? It's got like a handle to it. Yeah, but this is all scooped out. It's hard to see it. Can't tell how deep it goes, but that's a big old cup stone right there. That's all been grinded out, wore down. Okay, I'm going to show the foot. Here's a human foot. There's the arch. There's the toe with the toenail, the arch, the ankle. So I want you to picture a human foot. I'll hold it upside down. You can see how the arch is only on the one side like it's supposed to be. There's the toe. There's the ankle. Toe, arch, heel, ankle. See how the arch is only on the one side too? Like it's supposed to be. The toe's got a big old toenail on it too. That's a perfect human foot right there. Yeah, that arch makes it real cool. Like, I'm amazed at that arch right there. Looks like a shoe. Here, I got something for you. You want to see a shoe? Look, I got one right here. There's the foot inside the shoe. You see the toes, how they fit inside the sandal. Watch this, I'm going to take it out. See how it's a perfect foot. There's the toes. It's got an arch on it too. See the arch right there on the inside? There's the arch. See the arch? It's even got toenails on it. Hold on. Let me show you where the toenails are. Right there's the toes. Hold on. Ah, it's too dark. You can't see it. You just have to trust me that there's toenails on it. You see how the foot comes down to a point? There's an arch on the inside. See the shape? Just like your foot. Big toe on the inside, little toe curves down to the outside. You know what? I thought about that. I've got a whole bunch of parts too, different body parts. I got a little miniature foot somewhere. Where's the little miniature foot? I got a leg. I got a leg and a calf. God, where's that one at? Where's my leg and my calf at? I got a leg with a calf on it. I think it's right in here. Here it is. Here it is. Wait a second. Watch. This one's perfect. This is just one. This blows my mind. So I want you to think of a human foot right there, and I want you to think of his leg bone. See how it comes down? It's got an arch on it too. See the arch? So think of a human leg, only it's small. We turned it upside down. You can see it better when it's upside down. See the little, see the leg? Picture I'm holding the leg at the kneecap down. A little miniature foot. See the foot? Ankle? Calf? There's the foot upside down. Slowly turn it over. You see how it's a leg? All right, Robert. It's good seeing you, buddy. I know I've showed you this one probably before. There's my alien head with the elongated skull. You saw the ankle on that one? Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It took me for a long time to even figure that that was a foot. I didn't even see that foot. I thought it was like a turkey head. If you hold it the other way, it looks like a bird. Where'd I put it at? God, I laid it down. I can't find it now. Oh well. All right, man. It's almost dark. I gotta get out of here. Here's a bird-shaped scraper blade. Looks like a razor blade on it. Look at that razor blade right there. Okay, one more to show off. This guy right here with the crying man. See that little dot right there under his eye? That's a teardrop right there. That holds his ear. There's his eye. There's his mouth. There's his nose. There's his other eye. This side's got his eye and his teardrop. See that little hole right there? There's a part of a face right there. He's missing one of his eyes. All right, man, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hitting the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you've never seen me before and you're new. And I appreciate everybody stopping by and looking. Robert, you have a good night, buddy. I'll see you later. I'm going to shut this down. I got to go inside. My old Harley. The old chopper. I got junk laying everywhere. Motorcycles. I'm gonna see you guys later. You guys have a good night. Thanks, man. I like the alien head too. It's one of my favorites. All right, man. I'm gonna go inside. I got the biggest oak tree in the whole neighborhood. That son of a bitch right there is huge. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a huge ass oak tree in my backyard. That thing is monster. All right, buddy. I'll see you later, Robert. You guys have a good night. Peace. I'm out. Bye-bye.